Heretic is a new psychological horror film from A24. It is written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, known for A Quiet Place, which is a film I really enjoy. It follows two missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who attempt to convert a reclusive man and realize he is more dangerous than he seems. The two girls are forced to prove their faith as they become ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse. This review will be spoiler-free. I love A24, but sometimes their films can be style over substance. This film meets in the middle somewhere. It doesn't dive into a truly deep and nuanced religious commentary, but it is endlessly entertaining to watch Mr. Reed insist on debunking the faith held by Sisters Barnes and Paxton. I don't always love Hugh Grant. Recent films like Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and Wonka have seen him going through the motions, doing the usual shtick, but here he is very creepy and fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, I do like him in films like Bridget Jones's Diary and Love Actually, as well as 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I just think that sometimes he phones it in these days. He definitely doesn't here, and I am so glad that he now has a Golden Globes nomination for this role, even if it's in the musical or comedy category, which is a whole nother argument for a different video. Actresses Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East are also extremely strong in the film. They showcase a range of emotions, providing multiple layers to their characters that help them feel relatable and easy to root for. I love Topher Grace, so it was also nice to see him as Elder Kennedy, even though he doesn't really get much to do, aside from getting to deliver one of the best jokes of the film. When inside the house, I found the film to be lit very nicely, showcasing the wooden architecture. However, any darker outdoor scenes felt flat to me. I understood the commentary and insight into the characters that was being made in the opening scene with the explicit dialogue, but it all felt a little on the nose for me. The film isn't subtle, so you may find yourself tapping out in Act 3, as it can go to some slightly predictable places. However, the screenplay plants seeds in ways that pay off nicely later on, and the characters are enjoyable to follow. Nothing quite hits like the first act though. When the 3 characters are sitting in the front room on the couch and we are wondering if Mr. Reed really does have a wife, it is quite fun, even if the answer is obvious. Once he starts to speak more frankly and reveal that he knows more about religion than he initially let on, it continues to be really fun. Even when transparent, he can manipulate successfully. Hugh Grant is fantastic here, and he is absolutely the reason to see this film. Don't underestimate Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East though, as they both certainly hold their own. I wouldn't really call this a horror, but a thriller. It isn't scary, it's fun, in the kind of suspenseful way that you want a thriller to be. Hugh Grant is creepy in an entertaining way. This is kind of a popcorn film, but it doesn't sacrifice its filmmaking elements to be so. It is really nicely shot and nicely lit, aside from some scenes in Act 3 that are too dark. Despite my lukewarm feelings when it comes to the writing in the back half, I did enjoy the film overall. It is edited and paced very well. I would recommend it if you're a Hugh Grant fan for sure, as this is one of his best performances ever. The film has been criticised by the Latter-day Saints Church, whilst a number of ex-Mormons have praised its portrayal of Mormonism, so do with that what you will. If you're an A24 fan, then you too may enjoy it, however, it is far from the best that the studio has to offer. The film has quickly turned a profit, and whilst not being one of A24's best, it is another example of how competent the studio is with producing stylistic and original thrillers with achievable budgets. It is always important to support original films So go out and support this one if you're interested. Now, I do understand that whilst this is technically an original film, it's certainly inspired by many other films of its kind, but that kind of goes along with the commentary that Hugh Grant's character makes about different religious texts borrowing from the ones that existed before. Like I said, not the best film in A24's catalogue, but if you're interested in it, I'm sure you will enjoy it. Check it out if you have the time.